He was a ferryman. He was probably one of the best guys to wear a badge and be a lawman.
His legacy will live on. I mean, he'll never be forgotten.
It has been more than 8 years since Rainier Police Chief Ralph Painter was shot and killed in the line of duty. And today, the man who killed him pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and attempted aggravated murder. Fox 12's Marilyn Deutsch is live at the Columbia County Courthouse in St. Helens this afternoon and has more on the sentence that was just handed down. Marilyn?
Yeah, Daniel Butts will basically serve the rest of his life in prison. He can ask for parole, but not until he's 70. Now, he pleaded guilty today to several counts, including aggravated murder and attempted aggravated murder. He also pled guilty, but not guilty by reason of insanity, to several other charges. Now, the judge did accept those pleas in court today. Mr. Butts is a diagnosed schizophrenic. The plea was supported by Chief Painter's family, but not without a great deal of reservations. In court this morning, the judge immediately accepted the plea deal that has been a long time in coming, 8 years. Chief Painter gunned down in the line of duty 8 years ago by a then 21-year-old Daniel Butts. Chief Painter responding to a fairly ordinary call that day, someone trying to steal a car. The suspect in that car theft, Daniel Butts, who got into a struggle with the police chief, got a hold of the chief's gun and shot Chief Painter, that is, in the head. Before sentencing today, the judge heard victim impact statements from the chief's family. Chief Painter left behind a wife and 7 children.
Our lives were torn apart that day. I have watched every member of this family struggle with Ralph's murder, each in their own way. From that day forward, watching each one of his children mourn for their dad and to hope this was all a bad dream, but it wasn't. It was a living nightmare. After the shock wore off, I had to learn to live and move forward without my dad. It is just not my grief that causes me pain, but the grief of my siblings, my grandmother, my children. The list goes on.
By the way, Chief Painter's youngest son, Riley, was just 7 years old when his father died. Riley has now lived more years without him than with him. Ralph Painter had been with the Rainier Police Department for 25 years. The case against Daniel Butts has been long and drawn out, in large part because of Mr. Butts' mental condition. He was deemed incompetent to stand trial at first, so the trial was postponed for years. He was then sent to the Oregon State Hospital to get treatment. He did get treatment, and last year a psychiatrist said he was now fit to understand what he did and the charges against him. Daniel Butts sat quietly throughout today's proceedings, his head bowed much of the time, especially when family members spoke, even when they spoke directly to him. While prosecutors and the family agreed to the plea deal, they also asked the judge to hand down consecutive sentence, which in most cases the judge did. So again, Daniel Butts will now serve a life term in prison, though he can ask for parole when he is 70 years old. That is the first time he would be able to even ask for parole. By the way, he does not go directly to prison. First, he goes to the Oregon State Hospital. When they say he is okay to go to prison, then he'll start serving his sentence there. Live at the Columbia County Courthouse, Marilyn Deutsch, Fox 12 Oregon.